Today, I have 10 tech products that are great for traveling. Some of these products are things that I have traveled with already and I absolutely loved, and some of these things are actually new and I'm excited to tell you about them, especially the last two. First up, I have a travel mouse that really surprised me. It's called the Hub Mouse from ProtoArc, and I actually reviewed it last year and initially thought it was just some small, cheap mouse that had a gimmick to it to make it special. But since then, I've found myself keeping it handy no matter where I go or what bag I take it in. What makes it special for me is that it has a dock that slides into it, which is perfect for my 2020 MacBook Air. My MacBook only has two USB-C ports, so I can't use a USB-A or HDMI without a dock, and I do have a really nice dock from Cable Creations that I've already reviewed that has all of the functionality that I could possibly need, yet I still find myself keeping the Hub Mouse handy. The dock plugs in via USB-C and features a USB-C port as well as a USB-A and HDMI. It slides into the body of the mouse for storage and transport, taking up barely any room in your bag. The mouse itself is really nothing special, but it has been great when you need one in a pinch. It's small and lightweight and has a DPI button as well as a scroll wheel. And not only does it connect via the dongle itself, but it also has Bluetooth and can connect up to 3 different points for you to switch between. You typically find it for about $50 on Amazon, and if you are interested, then be sure to check the link down below where you'll find links to every product in this video. And while I love the ProtoArc Hub Mouse, I am considering upgrading from the Hub Mouse as I just got the Logitech MX3S that is fantastic and will also be featured in my ultimate ROG Ally travel setup video that will be coming out soon. So be sure to keep an eye out on the channel if you're interested in checking that out. The second item on this list is a recent pickup and something that I think is a must-have for almost any traveler. The GL-SFT100 travel Wi-Fi router is a fantastic piece of tech that I recently got to use for the first time. It does have more functionality than I'll cover in this video, but I do plan to do a dedicated review on it, so look out for that soon as well. But the main point of this is so that you can have a secured connection point, an extra layer of security when on public networks. In my recent trip, I connected it to the hotel's Wi-Fi and then created my own password protected network that only my devices could log on to. It's super small and only weighs 145 grams. It features a WAN port, 2 LAN ports, and a USB 2.0. It can have up to 52 devices connected to it, and it supports Wi-Fi speeds up to 1.2 gigabits per second. If you're on public networks unprotected, then you are extremely vulnerable to data theft, so for around $35, you can feel much more secure with this little guy. I absolutely love this router, and I think you will too, and it will always have a place in my travel bag. For number 3 on this list, I have a very simple Google Chromecast. I have been a big fan of Chromecasts for a long time because they take up almost no space and are extremely easy to use. It's basically just a dongle with a power cord that plugs into the back of a TV via HDMI, and once you connect it to Wi-Fi, then you can cast almost any streaming service to it from your phone or tablet to use it. I've used this in hotels and Airbnbs or anywhere that I have the ability to throw up YouTube videos or movies, and I even use one outside to watch football while I cook on my griddle. And I also love that they're super cheap at around $30, so they're an easy pickup for me. For number 4 on this list, I actually have the tech pouch that I carry all of my products in, and it's made by Thule. The Subterra Power Shuttle carrying case is a simple canvas pouch that has a great layout for holding tech products you travel with. What I like about it is that it's pretty deep, so it can hold larger tech items easily, but also has great storage pockets as well. The travel router that I just talked about actually fits in it super well, and there's also room for charging cables, docking stations, headphones, and external batteries. And if you do use an external battery for it, it also does have a pass-through so that you can charge a device outside of the pouch. And one thing I actually do like is that it's not rigid and it can kind of squish into places, but still provides great protection for your technology because it does have a rugged exterior. The build quality of it is just great, and it even has YKK zippers, which, you know anything about travel luggage, those are definitely a must-have. I did a lot of research when looking for the perfect tech pouch, and this ended up being the perfect fit for what I needed, not only because of its design and quality, but also because it comes in at an affordable price of $35. For number 5 on this list, it's actually multiple products because it's my Apple ecosystem. I always travel with my 2020 MacBook Air, iPad Air, iPhone 15 Pro Max, first gen AirPod Pros, and Apple Watch. As a big fan of Apple, I just didn't realize how good the ecosystem was until the first time that I traveled with it, because one example is that my iPad is a great standalone device with the Apple Magic Keyboard, but a couple clicks later and it's being used in sidecar mode as a second monitor for my MacBook. I also love the fact that I can use my iPhone as a webcam that I can just pick up and show stuff with, because it's not easy to hold up a laptop while doing that, such as looking outside of your hotel window or something like that. Also, AirDrop across devices is another amazing feature that allows you to quickly transfer files between devices, which is really amazing for content creation on the road. I'm just a fan of how well everything ties together, and it feels like Apple products are just made to travel with, especially now that they're finally transitioning everything over to USB-C for devices. Number 6 on this list is a great way to stay minimal while traveling, and also sent out by the sponsor of today's video, Ondar. Ondar sent out the Mag, which is a simple leather wallet that uses MagSafe to stick to the back of your iPhone. I have loved Ondar products each time I've reviewed them, and the mag is no different. It's made from the same full grain leather as all Ondar products are and holds about 2 cards for maximum simplicity. Since I only travel domestically with my driver's license and credit card, it is absolutely perfect for how I personally use it. With a ton of different color options, the mag comes in at $44, but if you use the code FreakyTech15, you can get 15% off of it or anything else on Ondar's website. Number 7 on this list is a tri-fold charger that works great with all the Apple products that I just mentioned above. It's a very simple but effective design that has a space to wirelessly charge my iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods. It plugs in with a provided USB-C cable and simply unfolds to lay flat for your devices. There are a lot of chargers like this on the market, so it kind of depends on what works best for you, but I like this one because it's relatively cheap at $30 and folds up to a nice compact size. And while I do like it, I do have my eye on the new Anker Mag Go because it folds up even smaller, and I do just love Anker products, so I may end up grabbing that one instead, although at $110 it is quite steep for a travel charger. But if you are interested in seeing me review it, then leave a comment down below if you want me to check it out, and I'll be sure to bring it to the channel. Product number 8 is something that you've probably heard a lot about if you've been around the Freaky Tech channel for a while, and if you haven't, then welcome, and please consider subscribing and joining the family. But the ROG Ally has just hit a sweet spot for me when traveling that I didn't know that I needed. I recently took it on a plane and it was perfect for gaming on a 4-hour flight, although battery life is a big concern with it. I won't dive into all the specs of it for this video as I have done a full review on it, but the Ally is just great because it's not just a gaming device, but also a travel PC as well. Like I mentioned earlier about the new Logitech mouse I bought to pair with the Ally, I do plan to do an ultimate travel setup with the Ally soon because the Ally just makes an excellent mini travel PC that you can use with a mouse and keyboard. I personally prefer to use JSO's docking stations for my setup, which I've also reviewed, because I can just connect a USB and Ethernet cables, essentially giving me a full desktop feel when on the road. What's also nice about the Ally is that it's powerful enough to play quite a bit of games, so you don't feel limited like you do with most handheld systems, and it's just a really great versatile handheld system that solves a couple travel problems at once. Although the price for just the Ally and then all of the extras really does add up quite a bit, so it may not be for everyone. For number 9 on the list, I have a product that I will be reviewing soon, but it makes for an ultimate desktop feel if you're traveling for work. I absolutely hate using a single laptop screen while on the road because a second monitor is usually just not an option, until now. I recently got these 14-inch laptop screen extenders from DomiFan that add 2 displays to my laptop screen, giving me a nice 3-monitor setup. These are great because they slide onto your laptop and use a kickstand for support and then connect via USB-C. They're only 1080p, but realistically that's plenty for travel work needs, but they do come with all the cables that you would need for connections as well as a carrying bag. But the real selling point of these monitors is that you can use one of them as a connection point for a gaming device so that you can have a gaming monitor on one side and still have 2 screens for work. They are pretty bulky to travel with, so they're not for everybody, but because I'm a really big guy and travel with larger luggage anyways, I don't have a problem sliding them into my 35-liter Peter McKinnon camera pack. And like I said, they're definitely not for everybody while traveling, but if you need to do serious work while on the move, or if you plan to set up for an extended stay, then these are a great option for you. These DomiFan screens come in at $250, but I do see them on Amazon with a $20 off coupon quite often. Now, the final product on this list is something that I have not traveled with yet, but I already know that it will go with me wherever I go. I just recently picked up the Abernic RG35XX Plus handheld gaming device off of AliExpress, and I have already fallen in love with it. I do plan to do a full review on it, so make sure that you're subscribed to see that. But to summarize it, this device is basically a modern day Game Boy that holds thousands of games on an SD card. I even modeled the colors to that of the original Game Boy, of which I actually own. It has a nice bright 3.5-inch display with great feeling buttons. It has 4 triggers on the back and even has a mini HDMI port on the top so that you can connect it to a display. You can actually get it for about $60 with 5,000 games on a single micro SD card, but I went with the $80 version that includes a second micro SD card with an additional 5,000 games. It can handle most games from any older system up to the PlayStation 1 and PSP, and it's such a perfect device for travel because it's small and easily fits into your bag, but has fantastic battery life and a ton of games to keep you entertained. I am so pumped to bring this to the channel, and I already cannot recommend it enough. So that's my 10 travel items. I'd love to hear which product from this list is your favorite below, and also what you travel with personally. Like I said earlier, there are links to each product in the description below. Some of them are affiliate links, some of them aren't, but also be sure to subscribe and join the Freaky Tech family if you haven't already. But I appreciate you taking some of the time out of your day to spend with me. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time.